Hello! It has been 2 weeks since I uploaded a video. Now listen, I have an explanation, okay? I know I said I would upload a few times a week, but I have an explanation. I've been doing a lot of work on the game design. I'm kind of just talking, and then I'm going to put video in the background. I don't remember what it looked like before. But yeah, so I have been working a lot on the game design, and when it comes to everything, pretty much, I have fallen into a few bugs that have made me hit a wall for a couple days. Like whenever I hit them, it takes me a couple days, and I just have to get to the point that I have to come back. I have to come back to the bugs and worry about it in the future, um, just to get as much as I want done. I still have a lot of time from the deadline I'm giving myself, which is June, but I I think I let myself ponder over some of these bugs a little too long than what I should be. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just talk about what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Huge coding and just mechanics designs and stuff. I have a lot of just stuff going on in the background that you can't really tell from playing the game. I designed a full, not like a demo map, I guess, to kind of, how can I say? It's a demo map to showcase everything I put in. So whenever I make something new, this map that you're probably watching um, is what I use to test it, whether it be wall buys, whether it be doors, spawners. I want to add some sort of RNG box, which honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, the RNG box could be part of the roguelike. Anyway, we're just it's all just in the air right now. I've added stuff to do Easter eggs. Not like I'm not gonna say like a full blown storyline Easter egg. Like it's more like okay, if you've played Kino der Toten and you have done the Moon Rock Easter eggs where you collect 3 rocks and the song plays, stuff like that. It's not like Origins where you build staffs and then you have to do stuff with the Maxis drone and then you have to upgrade the stuff like that. It's not gonna be like that. It's just little uh, small little Easter eggs that you can find that won't really affect gameplay for now, because obviously I don't want to give myself a huge project that I won't be able to finish by June. So yeah, so I have been working on a lot. My biggest bug right now is the weapon swap. The wall buy weapon swap for some reason. I'm gonna go nerdy real quick, so if you don't want to hear about that, just skip through a little bit. Um, but yeah, the weapon swap for some reason won't swap my pistol. It will only swap the secondary, or it'll do the opposite. So I have it right now. If you buy a gun and you have your pistol out, it will swap your secondary slot. And it works. That works fine. The problem is if I have my pistol or if I have my secondary slot and I buy a gun, nothing happens. I don't know why. I've ran around in Goad and I got it to the point that if I buy something with my pistol, it gives me a secondary slot, and then if I buy something in a secondary slot, it changes my pistol. So there is a way for you to get 2 weapons, I guess. Um, but that's the biggest bug that I kind of ran into, and it really just it completely like blew my candle out when it comes to the game design. So I had to change my focus, and what I changed it to, instead of focusing so much on the actual design, all last week I have been doing map designs. I have one completely blueprinted map. Like I'm doing like blueprint art of the map on I have like a notepad that I work on. So I have a completed like full-fledged map ready to go, and I already started building a test level to kind of find to test sizes and stuff like that, because it's on paper. I don't exactly have a perfect size comparison for everything, but I have the layout, which is the main focus. I was working on a second one, which is bigger, which will be the biggest out of the three, but um, oh, it's the biggest out of the three, and it will also have the most freedom, I guess. So I guess I'll talk about the three. So the first one is a test map. This is just hugely inspired by the small starter maps like Kino der Toten, Nacht der Toten, Shadows of Sh- Shadows. Oh my God, what is the Black Ops 3 map? Shadows. Something Shadows. Anyway, it's just very basic. So of course that's the one that you're watching. So I have that, and then the second map is very much. I want to do not hazards, but I want to do um, environmental events. So what I mean by that, think of like if you're walking on ice, you're like more slippery, or think of like the Origins map. If you're in the mud, you're a lot slower. So I want to work with environmental events. So that's what the second map is primarily going to be focused on. And then the third map is primarily focused on um, transportation. And what I mean by that, I mean like a gondola or an elevator, or like levels. So I don't have like a name or anything for the third one. I just started the third one yesterday, but I have it's three levels. So it's level one, which is just like, let's say the floor, like the floor. What am I trying to say? The floor, the first floor. It's first floor. Floor two is only a very, very small portion. Like think of it like if you go into a house and it's got an upstairs balcony and it's only the balcony. Think of it like that. So that's level two. But it's also basement, which will be the same size as floor one, but a completely different layout. And to get to basement, you have to use a gondola or an elevator, something like that. I haven't put it in engine yet, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to connect the two. But on paper, you get there via gondola. So I want to try and stick with what I'm writing down on paper. As for the environmental map, again, like I said, I'm just now putting it into engine, and I've only started on the spawn room, which it feels big. I might put a small video on it, but it feels big, but I think it feels big because there's nothing in there. I think if I start putting like random props and objects and stuff, it will feel a little more tighter. But if it doesn't, then I will just maybe take it down by like 20% or 10%, whatever feels good. Because I did try and match the spawn room size as the test room spawn room size, and it felt a little small. But this one feels a little big, so I need to find like a good middle ground to fit in between them. Um, what else have I been doing? That's pretty much it. And I've just been jotting down so many ideas. I think so. This is my goal, or these are my goals for June. So a pre-alpha playable project. Um, I'm not gonna have like any sort of characters or voice acting or anything like that. Like all of the sounds will be just taken from the internet. Um, that way it'll save me time and stuff. Also, I don't have money to pay like people to give me audio, and I also don't know how to do it myself right now. So the easiest route is to just take stuff offline. Um, as for UI and stuff like that, I'm sure I'll polish it by June, but it's not going to be exactly how I want it to look, because that's not my primary focus. My primary focus is to get rid of, or not get rid of, get a project ready to go to kind of see if it is what is it, optimized for other computers, because obviously I'm just using it on my computer. Optimized for other computers, playable for other type of play styles, because again, if I'm the only one testing it, it's going to be very biased because I know how the game runs, I know how everything's supposed to work, and I'm optimizing it for my specific computer. So I'll give it out to like my friends and stuff to test it, and maybe I'll give it out on like a Discord or something to get some feedback. But I don't know. We're not there yet. We're only in the second month of the year, and I will put more thought into how I'm going to hand out the playable build in like May. So my deadline is exactly 4 months from now. That's so crazy. February, not February, June 14th. But yeah, so that's the goals. That's the three goals. The goals are make a playable build, don't focus too much on UI, and get feedback to kind of see what direction I am going to go with. The end goal for the year is to have an alpha, because I want to say beta, but I'm not going to say beta. Let's say alpha. Um, because again, I am a one-man show, and this is still a passion project, which is also why I haven't been pushing myself to work on it so strictly. Because I run the playtest level a lot. I just run around and like, because I just give myself infinite money, so I just run around and shoot zombies. Um, but yeah, so definitely this is something that is going to take its time, but it's also something I have to discipline myself to try and finish, because I have done so many projects that I just end up scrapping because I get burnt out. Um, but yeah, some things I want to do, definitely. I want to do some. I don't know if this is kind of thinking too much into it, but I do want to do some sort of story or back lore, plot lore. I want to do some lore for the maps, like what, like I don't just want to throw in three random maps and they don't, none of them like make sense to each other. It's not like there's no theme. Everything right now, everything's just blocked. So I have freedom to do whatever I want. Um, so I do want to make lore and kind of figure out what I'm doing with the project. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, like special weapons and like wonder weapons, I do want to try and do, but I'm just focusing on the primary right now for this month, and I think next month I will focus on the primary round-based survival mechanics, and then in April, that's when I will work on the roguelike mechanics. And then May is getting a pre-build together to share to people to get feedback. And then June is kind of my freedom. So June will be a completely month free break that I just let people play it, write down as much feedback as I can, and then come July, take all of that feedback and input it into where I think it's best. Because I'm not gonna take all feedback, because if I take all the feedback, then it's not my game anymore. So I'm gonna take some feedback and use that to kind of make the game feel better, but I'm not going to stray away from my vision of what I want to do, because the game is being built for me. It's not being built for anyone else. It's being built for me. So that's kind of what I'll do. And that's the plans for the next 4 months. I do want to try and do weekly updates. Oh my god, I have a whole other topic to talk about. Okay, I'm gonna go make that video. Holy crap. Okay, I will see you on the next one. Bye.